Day one of World's Strongest Man is over and the unofficial results show with Uncle Loz and Auntie Liz is back.
So before we get stuck in, just to address a couple of frequently asked questions, there is no live stream of World's Strongest Man. There is no footage of World's Strongest Man. You may be able to find a couple of very small snippets on Instagram stories and stuff like that. But other than that, there is nothing. There's a daily results show on Facebook that costs $2.99, I think, for the whole week. But they are just telling you the results, just like us.
So day one, there's been an awful lot of excitement. Couple of injuries, sad to see that.
Yeah.
Some interesting results. Event one, some really surprising results. And then we'll get into event two in a little bit. But Lizzie, let's kick off with event one. Every single athlete did this event. Gives us a good insight into how the athletes are looking. We can compare groups. We can compare other groups against each other and athletes and see who is looking good for this year's World's Strongest Man. So this first event was the loading and frame walk medley. And the athletes were only shown the implements that they had to load when they got to World's Strongest Man. Now, if you've seen these events, you'll see they had two huge barrels to load.
Massive.
In my opinion, stupid move. These are objects that the guys are not used to carrying, very, very big, caused some issues for a lot of athletes. You need a huge wingspan to get around these barrels. There's been a couple of bicep injuries. Unfortunately, Luke Richardson has torn his bicep and has officially had to withdraw from the competition. Such a shame for the young lad.
Yeah.
He's an up-and-coming athlete, one of the best British athletes we've got. He's spoken as the future of strongman, so a devastating blow for him. Unfortunately, this year, not his year.
Yeah.
The rest of the athletes, this event proved to be extremely tough. Now, the frame that they used, I have used myself. And on its own, without doing the other events, is a brutal event that most guys don't finish. 25 guys went on this event, only 7 managed to finish. So let's break it down into each group, starting with group 1. Give us the results, Lizzie.
So in group 1 then, just 2 athletes finished this medley in this group, and that was Maxine Boudreau coming first place and then Brian Shaw in second.
Yeah, Maxine proving how good he is at some of the moving events. We've seen before he's exceptionally fast when it comes to frame walks, moving type events, and he's put in an awesome performance to take the win on event 1 in group 1. And great from my point of view, picking Brian to do well this year. Brian looking very, very good on an athletic moving event.
Yeah.
That's a good sign.
Do you know what? Doing my predictions, I had Brian making the final, but this is the one event that I had him dropping the most points on. So for him to get second place on this, I think puts him in a really strong position now.
Extremely happy with taking second on this. It will relax the nerves. He knows it's probably the worst event for him out of the way. And now he can sort of, just switch on and focus one event at a time. But a great start for those 2 guys. Poor start by Ivers.
A terrible start for Ivers. So he placed last, picking up just the 1 point. I would have expected him to do much better.
Yeah, he's normally quite good at moving. An athletic athlete, he performs consistently well across the board. He won't be too happy with that start.
No.
And then Travis and Gav, I think, good solid performances by both of them.
Yeah.
Gav's still learning all the time.
Still very new.
I think a lot of people forget that he's not been in the sport that long. I mean, he's done amazing to win 2 UK Strongest Mans, but this is a step up from that. And these guys, you cannot even remotely have a small weakness.
No.
It's amazing because the guys are so good that you can be 5% off and it looks huge.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's not a huge difference, but at that level, it really makes a big difference. So a great start there for Maxine, taking the first event win, and then Brian Shaw coming in second.
Okay, so this one makes me very happy. So in group 2, Tom Stoltman won the event, and he was actually the fastest overall out of every athlete in every group.
Unbelievable time by Tom. All 4 objects in 49.69.
Yes.
Which was way faster than anyone else.
And it's just the confidence boost he's going to need starting out now. I would expect the rest of the group to go well for Tom now. He's got that.
Honestly, this is Tom's set now.
Yeah.
Tom needs a good start.
Yes,
he's got that. He's going to have that positive frame of mind.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think he's going to cruise.
I think he's going to smash it. But another thing that makes me really happy.
I know.
Second place, Mark Felix. Mark Felix.
Hey, we know how good Mark is at a frame carry. Unbelievable grip strength. Hell of a strong back. He's also got really long arms.
Yeah.
So for the awkward objects, perfect for him. and the ideal start for Mark. And Mark
With some really good events to come for Mark.
This is what I was going to say.
Yes.
Mark has some good events to come. The oldest man in the competition, off to an amazing start, and he's going to be a threat. He's got a chance.
Do you know, someone did the math. So another person in this group, Evan Singleton, he took 3rd place. Then we had Johnny Hansen in 4th and Trey Mitchell in 5th. Someone did the math, though, that Mark Felix's age is Tom's age plus Evan's age equals 1 Mark Felix.
He's been around forever and just an incredible human, but what a start for Mark Felix. The shock for me in this one, maybe Trey Mitchell. Trey, obviously one of the favourites in this group. He's performed very well in the last few years. He's normally pretty good at frames as well, those type of events. I thought he would do a little better, but it's a tough group with guys like Evan, Johnny, all incredible athletes.
And without seeing the footage, who knows what happened? It's very hard to decipher from a few numbers on the screen, although we do our best.
We will try, we certainly try our best. And the one thing that's important to when you look at the results is you see varying results in each group.
Yeah.
Now, group 1, 2 guys finished.
Yeah.
Group 2, 2 guys have finished. We move on to group 3, 0 guys finishing.
Yeah.
It shows that the difference is being in different groups and how events make a difference.
Yeah.
Very, very good start for Robert Oberst. He will be extremely happy with this. Taking the event win in the first event, that's a big confidence boost.
Yeah, and I think, most people would have expected JF to win that event as well.
JF, unbelievable deadlifter, unbelievable grip strength. You'd think he would have maybe finished the frame. Shows how tough it is.
It was 0.5 metre between them on the frame, so it was very close, and JF must have been spent to not.
Yeah, I mean,
nudge forward and
JF's
take
not
the
the
win.
best when it comes to farmers and frames
No.
normally, but you'd think with his back and his leg strength and his grip strength, he would have managed to get. Shows how tough an event this is. Coping with the heat there.
Yeah.
These are other factors that we don't always think about. But an amazing start for Robert. Real shame about Luke Richardson, like we said earlier. Unfortunately, tearing his bicep and having to withdraw from the competition. So in 3rd place, we have Mikhail Shivlikov taking 3rd, and then Ethor Ingolson taking 4th place. So an interesting start for this group.
Yeah.
And, when we said we compare different groups, some of the guys that maybe came 3rd or 4th in other groups could have done pretty well in that group.
Yeah, definitely.
So it does show how being in different groups makes a difference overall.
It makes the group very interesting going forward as well, because coming last now in this group will earn the athletes 2 points instead of the usual 1. So
it's going to be very
that can change
tight.
things up a bit, yeah.
So moving on to group 4, we had another group that didn't have anyone finish. Some close battles again, with Constantine Janash taking the win. Good to see Constantine coming back in shape. We weren't sure.
No.
I think that's going to settle his nerves and hopefully build that confidence. He's got the deadlift is the next event we'll talk about in a second, but a great start for Constantine and a great start for Terry Hollands.
Yes.
Terry taking 2nd place, and we all know how good Terry is at farmers, loading, frame walks.
Yeah, this is always going to be a good event for Terry.
He needed a good start on this, and he'll put him in a good position.
So in 3rd place in this group, we had Jerry Pritchett. Solid start for Jerry. He's
Probably where you'd expect Jerry to come on this event.
Yeah. Then in 4th place, Chris van der Linde. Didn't really know what to expect from him. Obviously, it's his first time at World's Strongest Man. I think the surprise in this group is Adam Bishop placing 5th.
Yeah, Adam is normally very good at loading type events. He's performed extremely well on frame carries before. Yeah. Now, obviously not being there, I don't exactly know if there's a reason behind that performance, but you'd normally expect better from Adam on this type of event. So hopefully he's okay.
Yes.
But we'll see as the contest
But you say yourself, at Worlds especially, on these loading, it can throw up some really weird results. You've won loading races, you've come last in loading races, so...
Yeah, it's, he'll regroup and come back on the next event. So Group 5 is super exciting. Now, we've just gone through 2 groups that didn't finish. This group had 3 athletes that finished, and coming out in 1st place with, I believe, the 2nd fastest time of the day, Kevin Ferris. Kevin is an unbelievable, speedy, fast, dynamic athlete.
I called it.
You did, Liz.
I know we're only one event in, but I'm expecting
Don't
big
get
things.
too
from
excited,
Kevin.
but no,
right,
Kevin.
I'm getting a bit cocky.
Rightly so. Kevin's proven, now that he's a world-class athlete. I've competed against Kevin on frame type events before. He is blisteringly fast. It didn't surprise me that he won this event.
No.
Very impressed to see Luke Stoltman come second on this.
So happy to see Luke come second.
Luke is good at the loading part, but the frame part is not necessarily an event you'd expect him to be really good at. Awesome to see him come second. That's a big performance for Luke. And Bobby Thompson. Bobby, we know, is a static monster.
Yeah, but not a mover. Not so much.
Not really. No, you know, moving events have notoriously not been his strength.
Yeah.
So again, I mean, this would have won in some of the other groups, and he's only got 3rd place.
And his best events are yet to come. I would have expected, to be honest, him to come last on this event, and you know I love Bobby. It's not a slight on him.
Without question.
But he's got some really strong events to come. Overhead medley, deadlift.
I think the real shock in this group was Novikov coming 4th.
Yeah.
And I've heard he should have perhaps even been 5th.
Really?
Yeah, looking at the short little videos that I've seen online, he actually turned and started trying to drag it backwards.
Yeah.
That's not really in the rules. And I don't know how strict the referees were, but this is a frame carry, not a backwards drag.
Yeah.
So potentially, when you look at the distances, apparently he might have not even got 4th, but the referees have given it to him. Irvin Toots ending up in 5th. This is going to be an exciting group.
It's going to be it's going to be bloodshed now, a proper battle. I can't wait to see how this one works out. Deadlift next for them, isn't it?
Deadlift next for them. But before we get to the deadlift, let's talk about the squat groups. 2 groups doing the squat. Let's look at them.
So then the squat lift. This was the globes, wasn't it? And it's onto a frame, and they're nicely padded these days, aren't they? It's not the horrible
It used to be metal,
mess that it
where
used to
metal
be.
hitting metal was throwing people all over the place. They put some softer pads in there as a markers. It cushions it a little bit nicer.
It's much nicer, and it's £700, I believe, the squat lift.
I think it's around about that for the group stages.
Whatever they paint on it that year. We had joint first place in this group, Brian Shaw and Ivers Schmuxtelis, both with 10 reps each on the squat.
And you did call...
Who said Ivers could squat? And you were like, can he? Well, I don't know. I'm going to have to take your word for it. I'm not going to do some research.
I had not seen him squat,
Wow.
you know,
Ivers
and you were
squat.
absolutely right. Liz, look, I'll say it on camera.
Thank you.
Liz was right. But I also said Brian Shaw can squat.
Well, I never denied you could.
And I was seeing people saying, oh, Brian's got the squat. He's not going to, you know, Brian now is in a position he's going to coast this group. I genuinely believe that. He's looking...
Fingers and a medley to come. Yeah.
So Brian is in a great position now. Yes. He's into the lead. It's only a small lead, but with events like the fingers to come, and if he needs it, the Atlas Stones, I think he's in a very good position to make the final. The real battle will be who can take second place. Maxime put himself in a brilliant position.
Yeah.
I think Ivers is going to keep fighting.
And Maxime and Ivers are both amazing stone lifters. So Maxime came second to Tom Stoltman. He was second out of everyone that did it though.
Last year, yeah, you're right.
But he had to go up against Tom Stoltman. So any other group he would have qualified. So this is going to be a really exciting stone battle. If it's...
There's still a long way to go.
Yeah,
We've got a lot of events. We get ahead of ourselves. These guys have still got a lot of points to battle for, but it's going to be an exciting group for sure. So group 3, again, a good group of squatters. This time taking the win, JF Caron with 11 repetitions, which was the most out of any athlete that performed in the squat.
Yeah.
And then Mikhail Shivlikov.
Very impressive.
Well, I knew Shiv could deadlift. I haven't seen him squat that often.
No, and 10
he
reps.
Can clearly squat.
10 reps on that setup is
and he
really
needed
good
those
going.
points. You know, he'll be pleased to get those points and put himself back into contention.
The big shock in this group, Robert Oberst.
Was it a big shock?
Oh, wow. 0 reps is obviously...
I was expecting 2 to 4 for Robert.
Yeah,
so
which is fair.
I think,
But what we're hearing is that he couldn't hit depth, so I'm guessing maybe he hasn't broken in a suit or something like that if he's wearing a suit, but he hasn't hit depth. A knee wrap came off and he ended up having to call it and he got 0 reps. So from first place to last place, that's going to be quite the come down, isn't it?
It will. He's still in a good position, points wise. That win will be good, and he knows he's got some good events to come. I don't say this to be disrespectful. Robert is a great athlete, and a lot of people kind of give him a lot of shit and say he's not.
Yeah.
He is a great athlete. He's never been known as a great deadlifter or a great squatter.
No, but his squat was better.
His squat
than
is seen as
deadlift.
better
Yeah.
than his deadlift. I honestly, I was looking at 2 to 4 reps for him. I thought JF would win this comfortably. Very impressed with Ethor's performance. And obviously, I was expecting a big squat from Luke Richardson.
Such a shame we didn't get to see that.
Unfortunately, we didn't get to see it this year. But Luke would have put in, I think Luke could have pushed JF.
Oh, absolutely. I'd expected a tie, to be honest.
Well, I think JF is capable of more than 11.
Yeah.
And I think
If
maybe
he
they
has
would have had
to.
to push that little bit
Yeah.
harder. But I'm sure JF is happy that
He didn't have to.
11 is still a lot of reps with that kind of weight. So I'm sure he's glad he didn't have to go beyond that.
gotcha.
But it's left the group interesting. So this group is shaping up nicely.
Yeah.
So we've got JF Caron now into the lead with 9 points. Second place, we have Mikhail Shivlikov on 7 points.
And then we have joint third and
Yeah.
fourth, 5 points each for Ethel Ingolson and Robert Ober.
Still
So,
very close.
very open.
4 events to go. Anything can happen. The guys are... What they want is to make sure they're in that top 3. There's only 4 guys in the group.
Yes.
It's going to be a battle.
Yeah.
And the worst they can do on an event now is get 2 points.
Yes, because obviously Luke's out.
Well, this is probably something we should explain. Robert won the first event, got 5 points, but because he didn't get a rep
Yeah.
on the squat, he zeros.
Yeah.
If he got 1 rep, he would have got 2 points.
Oh, yeah.
So that
would have made a huge difference.
Yeah, that would make a huge difference, and he'd be in second place because
Yeah.
he would have had an event win and 7 points. That could cost him. If he looks back and he doesn't make it to the final because of that,
Yeah.
he's going to be kicking himself. And he is capable of getting a couple of reps on there. So
Oh yeah, definitely. Some people I've been reading thinking it might be tactics, but I don't for a minute believe that, because if it was tactics, you'd do 1 to get the 2 points. You'd never 0. Would
there's
you?
no way that was
No.
tactics.
Not at this point in the competition. That would be madness, I think.
You do not give up 2 points.
No. Unless you're already through, pretty much.
Yeah, it just doesn't happen. Not this early in a contest.
No.
I mean, I'm not saying he can't get through,
Yeah.
but he would have wanted those 2 points.
You
trust
want to
me.
win the group. You don't want to have to do the stone off if you don't have to,
You want to get through as easily as possible. You do not want to be doing a stone off for sure. Third event of the day is the deadlift, and this is event 2 for groups 2, 4, and 5.
Very good day.
Starting off with group 2, the cat is in here. Evil cat.
The cat wants to join in.
Do you like deadlifts?
Here, puss.
So group 2 deadlifts, this group is a stacked group of deadlifters. You've got, on paper beforehand, people talking about Evan Singleton, Mark Felix, Tom Stoltman, Trey Mitchell, and Johnny
Crazy.
Hansen. We knew this was going to be a good deadlift group. And what a group it was. Exciting.
Are you all right?
I am. The thing with the deadlift, if you're within 20 kilos of each other,
Yeah.
it's really hard to get away from someone on the
Yeah, of
deadlift
course.
when it's for reps, because the likelihood is you're going to do the same reps. And that's kind of what's happened in this group. It's had 3 guys tie for first place with 8 repetitions.
Yeah.
Name the men.
Name the men. Tom Stoltman, Mark Felix, Trey Mitchell.
So then we had Evan Singleton on 5 reps and Johnny Hansen on 3. Now, it's not been a great start for Johnny. I think he has better events to come.
Okay.
But
That's a tough group.
going to be tough to get back into that. The leading pack, if you like, particularly Tom Stoltman. Tom Stoltman taking the win on the event 1 and then a joint first on the deadlift. He's gone.
He's gone. We've lost him.
He's in positive mode. He's
Yeah.
flying, a bit like Brian Shaw's group. Worst case scenario, really, barring catastrophe.
They do the stone off. They win the stone off instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he's safe as long as, and that's not saying he can't do anything, but
No.
he's got to focus one event at a time, obviously, but he's in a very good position.
Yes.
Mark Felix has put himself in a really good position. I know how much you love Mark. We all love Mark.
It's my
but
best friend.
he's got a chance of making the final.
I know.
He really does. Evan's going to need to really dig deep to kind of catch up.
This is going to be a battle for Evan now, because if he does end up in the stone off with either Mark or Trey, they are both brilliant
Yeah.
at stones.
And Trey still has work to do. You know,
Yes.
that last place, it makes things difficult.
Yeah.
You really can't afford to have another slip.
No.
So Trey is going to have to win event after event.
Yeah.
He's almost going to have to beat Tom on something, hope Tom comes second.
In between him and the other guys.
To get them points back.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough, but it's going to be close. I feel, as British citizens, former British strongman athlete, we're a little biased to the British athletes, but I think you're extremely biased to Mark Felix.
He's my friend.
People have even picked up on the music that's played now for
The
Mark.
angelic music, which is probably playing right now as I speak.
Anyway, we'll move on to the next group. So group number 4, this is another stacked deadlift group. It was always going to be a tough one on paper. Adam Bishop coming back strong, taking the win with 9 repetitions. That's an impressive performance.
Very good.
Looking at the whole list of athletes, Adam bouncing back strong, and he needed to do that really. After that first event, he needs to get himself straight back in there, and he's bounced back very, very well.
I'm quite surprised we didn't have any tied points in this group.
Yeah. Especially with the level that they're at. Couple of
surprises.
Jerry, to be honest, is the surprise for me. Now, obviously, we're not there. Don't know exactly how official this is, but I've heard Jerry may have pulled a hamstring.
Yeah.
He's done this quite a few times in his career. He has sometimes on deadlift events suffered with hamstring tears, hamstring pulls. I have no idea how bad it is. It's just a rumour that's kind of going round, and it would make sense.
It would, because we would expect a little bit more from Jerry, wouldn't we?
Yeah, I was you'd expect Adam and Jerry to be the same or 1 rep away from each other. You don't expect that much of a difference.
No.
Again, Janash is showing that he's back in shape, coming in with 8 repetitions to take 2nd place. And another rumour, I mean, Terry Hollands, it's not a rumour, Terry got 6 repetitions.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if there's some issues going on there with Terry. There are rumours that he may have to pull out. We will confirm once we know for sure.
Yeah.
But if that's the case, that's very, very sad. Obviously, Terry trying to make his 10th final.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not the case, and
fingers crossed.
what we've heard is wrong, but from what we've heard so far, that's what we know. Adam Bishop taking the win, 9 repetitions, so Adam's going to be happy to be back into the contention.
Yes.
Constantine Janash, a very consistent day. He's gone into 1st place after 2 events on 9 points. 2nd place, we have Terry Hollands actually in 2nd place, so hopefully
it really throws it wide open if Terry is out.
Yeah, and that win from Adam there pushes him back into 3rd, so that's done big things for his points. So still lots to play for, but could be a couple more injuries at World's Strongest Man on day 1. Group 5 is turning out to be as exciting as we expected.
A bloodbath.
It's just insane, this group, and the deadlift has kind of
made it even more insane.
Yeah, it's going to make the next few days very, very exciting. Lizzie, give us the results for the deadlift in Group 5.
So Bobby Thompson, as we suspected and predicted, won the deadlift with 9 repetitions. Then we had 3 guys tying on 6 reps. Luke Stoltman, now this is excellent for Luke.
This is big for Luke.
Yeah, really good. Like, standout performance for me in this group, because it could have been so much worse.
Deadlift is probably Luke's weakness.
Yes.
He's not weak at deadlifting, but in terms of top level, it's often seen as his weakness.
Yeah.
For him to get joint 2nd in this event,
is
huge points.
Big for Luke. Then Kevin Ferris also on 6 reps, which that sounds about right. And then Alexei Novikov also with 6 repetitions, and he really, really needed and would have wanted to be able to pull ahead of those guys in this event. He's
in trouble at the moment. I mean, there's a long way to go, but with guys like Kevin, Bobby and Luke in that group, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
You know, they're all very, very strong guys.
So Irvin Toots got 3 reps.
Yep.
Deadlift isn't Irvin's strongest event, so that sounds about right too. But now you've got Kevin and Bobby tied for 1st place in this group on 8 points. Luke Stoltman in 3rd place on 7 points. Alexei Novikov currently in 4th place with 5 points, and then Irvin Toots with 2 points.
It's going to be an exciting 2nd day.
Yes, very exciting.
And 3rd day potentially. This is the group that is turning out to be
the group of death.
Yeah.
I said it was. And
I think on paper you looked at Group 1 and Group 5.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we've said beforehand that things can kind of change. You know, it can look tough
groups
on
can
paper.
fall apart, yeah.
So far, this group is living
not
up to
falling apart,
expectations.
yeah.
It's going to be exciting. I'd hate to be family members watching back home. It's going to be stressful as hell. But what an event, you know, an eventful first day.
Yes.
Firstly, sad to see some injuries.
Yes,
you know,
of course.
potential news of people having to pull out.
Yeah.
Some incredible performances. And it's set us up for an exciting few days of qualifying heats. Come and join us tomorrow at 9 p.m. UK time.
We're going to be live. We're going to have a waiting show because we were quite bored this evening waiting for the results to come in. It's a long night for us.
So we thought we'd come and chat to you guys, bring us your questions. We can all kind of...
Speculate together.
Yeah, we can all kind of, you know...
Like the nerds that we are.
Look at the spreadsheet, see what's happening and have some fun. But we'll be back obviously then.
So that's Wednesday, 9 p.m. UK time. Loz was just about to figure out what that is in different time zones. I was like, people can figure it out and I'll schedule it anyway.
All right, guys, we'll be back tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Take it easy. While you're here, guys, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my awesome strength content.